So after the border bill failed, Senate passed, I think it was like 77 to 23 or something like that. This new foreign aid package, it includes $60 billion for Ukraine, $14.1 billion for Israel, $9.2 billion. So $14.1 billion for Israel to blow up Gaza, and then $9.2 billion for Gaza to be rebuilt. So $9.2 billion going to the Palestinians, and then $8 billion for Taiwan. There is a missing about, I don't know, $4 billion. I don't know where it's going. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's not a foreign. I think it's a foreign AIDS bill, right? Yeah. No.
No comment.
What?
Foreign aid.
All right. Well, not every single one can land, guys. You know, I'm trying here. It's okay. What do I think about the foreign aid bill? Well, at this point in my life, as an American citizen, and always using the first principle of politics that you're being lied to constantly, especially in times of war, I kind of don't want any more foreign aid at all to anybody. I mean, just let them fend for themselves. Just fuck off, right? Am I being, I don't know, a coward, as some might say? You know, maybe comparing me to the Americans before Pearl Harbor, saying they didn't want to get into World War II, and therefore somehow I'm a Nazi supporter.
Well, it's a leap, I think. You know,
leap as well. I do too.
I mean, I don't. So you say no more foreign aid at all until like ever, or until a certain determined thing happens.
Until when would I be okay with more foreign aid? That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought that far ahead. Honestly, I don't care. I don't know. I don't care what happens to Russia or Ukraine. I don't particularly care about what happens to Palestine or Israel. Like, I care. Like, I don't want bad things to happen. Right? I'm a good person, I think. Maybe not for saying that. People aren't going to believe me, but I'm a good person. But I think that we have enough problems here, and we have a border that needs. I mean, maybe let's put it this way: until all of America's problems are solved, right? Let's not help other people solve their problems.
Yeah, so never.
I mean, isn't that what the government is supposed to do for its citizens?
The government is not supposed to solve. The government is not supposed to solve anybody's problems. That's the first basic.
Agreed. But I'm being put into this false dichotomy.
Well, no, I mean, I assume you weren't saying that. I mean, you did say that, but I assume what you meant was until the things that they are ignoring here are addressed, then they should not be.
Look, if I'm going to be taxed against my will, as much as they want to be given to whoever they want. Right. So long as that's happening, I want my tax dollars to be spent on problems here in the United States. I don't want them to take my tax dollars. Michael, I'm sorry that I have to clarify that for you.
But if you don't send money to Ukraine, Russia will be over here, and then you'll have to fight them here.
Fine. I'll fight them here. I don't care. Good.
I'm kidding. I'm
joking. I know that you are. I know that you are. But that's I mean, what didn't Chuck Schumer or Mitch McConnell, one of those two goons, say that recently?
Probably.
Mitt Romney said this is the most important vote of his lifetime to send $60 billion to Ukraine. I've been asking on Twitter, I think on every day, for somebody to articulate to me what $60 billion in additional funding to Ukraine will accomplish. Can anybody articulate that in any reasonable terms that aren't just like platitudes and fear mongering?
I don't think so. And I think that's, and interestingly enough, I was at an event last night, and a guy I know very well was speaking about Israel and the aid. And he made a very good point, which is kind of similar to what you're saying, which is that he felt that the aid to Israel was very different than the aid to the Ukraine, because when you give the aid to Ukraine, there's no like end goal. Like, sure, they want to fend off Russia, but like, it's like, when do you determine that the mission has been accomplished? Whereas he was saying for Israel, they kind of have an end goal. They have a defined, role that they're trying to pursue. And he felt that it was different. But I think when you do look at Ukraine, it's like, well, yeah, I haven't seen or heard, and admittedly, I haven't followed it closely, but I would assume if it was determined, we would have heard what they think $60 billion is going to do in like, hard and fast rules. Like this is where it's going to be this. This is when we'll know that we're successful or whatever. Like there's just been nothing of that. It's just been let's keep making it rain on Ukraine. And no pun, that did not do that intentionally, but it just worked. But it's frustrating, and I get what you're saying, Brad, because it's like there are a lot of things happening here, not necessarily problems that each individual American is facing, but things like the border where you could address it, like the fact that you can't come to a good resolution on some sort of border stopgap measure, but yet we can easily rush money through in foreign aid. It's kind of frustrating to see. Not kind of, very frustrating.
Are we thinking about this the wrong way? Is this really foreign aid, or is this just propping up the military-industrial complex?
It's both. They are one and the same.
How is it both? How is this aiding Ukraine? Ukraine has decimated their, vital male population. I think what did I hear this week? The average Ukrainian soldier age is pushing like 44 or something crazy because all of the young ones died. I saw a video of a guy with Down syndrome as one of the soldiers. I don't know if it's real or not, but at this point, anything's possible, it seems. This is not, I don't know how this doesn't help. And I mean, to answer your question, how I would answer it, and I know it's not what you're looking for. It's not, I'm sort of gaming the system a little bit. It seems like the mission is to just prop up military industrial complex, prop up the Halliburtons, the Raytheons, the Boeings, right? We give them, are we giving them new equipment? Or are we giving them old equipment? Or are we just giving them money? I don't know. It doesn't help them.
No, if you look at it objectively, the only people that benefit here are the weapons manufacturers. It's sending $60 billion is not good for Ukraine, as you just pointed out. It's not good for Russia, obviously. It's not good for U.S. taxpayers or citizens. So it's bad for everybody involved, except for the profit motive. And then on the other foreign aid packages, this is more of a principled stance for me. I won't be anti-Semite guilted into supporting Israel aid, or I won't be scaremongered into supporting Taiwanese aid. I think for two reasons. One, like you guys said, America first. We have enough issues at home we need to be spending our tax dollars on. And two, we don't have a tremendous amount of evidence that our aiding or getting involved in other people's conflicts actually has a good outcome. So from a principled stance, I'm against all of this. I just don't support any of this. And they won't shame me. You're a Russian bot. They do shame tactics on all of them. You're a Putin puppet. You're an anti-Semite. China's going to take us over. Like, that shit doesn't deter me. I'm sorry. That's shallow. And I'm not scared of being labeled that. This is just a principled stance. We got shit at home to deal with.
Why are you taking a page out of Tucker Carlson's book? Like, not.
Yeah, shopping in Russian supermarkets and stuff.
You're worrying about how Russia is going to do? What are you?
I'm saying of all the parties that are involved in the Ukraine-Russia war, it doesn't benefit anybody for it to keep on going.
No,
except for the people
agree.
who are making money.
I agree, but I just don't know why you care about whether it benefits Russia or not. I just wonder if you've been radicalized by Tucker Carlson's latest videos.
Yeah,
They have such a nice subway. I want to put it here in Austin, Texas.
Someone is pro Project Connect.
One quick thing on the Tucker stuff. I thought, the video, I know we talked about his interview. I did not expect all like the shorts of him like hanging out in Russia and like going food shopping and like talking about how great Russia is. I didn't expect all that to come. What I found super weird was the one where he went to the supermarket and was like, you put a quarter in, you get this cart, and then you put it back and you get your quarter back. Like as if we don't have that here in the United States. Like I go to an Aldi, like you can see that and he's like, see, you can't take this and go and like, bring it to your homeless encampment. Like, it's like, have you never been to a grocery, which which he has not been to a grocery store in like 30 years, I would guess. But what is going on? I don't understand that. But I know that's sidetracking us from our conversation. But it's very strange. I didn't get that part. Got the interview, criticize it, whatever, fine. But the rest of this, I'm not really understanding.
He's a Putin puppet, and Michael Searle loves him. And Michael, we're watching the radical as we have been watching. Charles, your entry into the conspiracy theory world and how much you're loving it and like learning so much as you go down those rabbit holes. We're watching the same thing happen with Michael in Russia.
Fair.
I know.
Speaking of conspiracy theories,